So I was sick. I was terribly sick with the flu when the first episode of the Book of Boba Fett came out. I'm finally feeling better, sorta, and I'm getting back into things. Let's start with what I recorded a week ago, and I'll have a second video for you guys later during the day. Now that I'm feeling better, I gotta get into it, baby. What a time to be alive. The Book of Boba Fett just released. Episode 1 is out of the box, and we finally got an answer as to how Boba Fett escaped the Sarlacc pit in canon. It wasn't as spectacular as it was in Legends, and we're going to talk a bit about that, but canon finally gave us an answer. Of course, the episode starts with flashbacks. Boba Fett is healing up inside the Bacta pod located inside Jabba's palace. We got to see the inner works of Jabba's palace as well, but while we got a shot of young Boba holding up his father's helmet, we got another perspective that we never got to see before, even in Attack of the Clones. That was a pretty big close-up. Then Boba inside the Sarlacc pit, covered in toxic slime. The indigestion of the Sarlacc pit, basically, that stormtrooper gave new life to Boba, new oxygen, and he burned himself out of the Sarlacc pit, came out of the sand dunes, which shows you how enormous the Sarlacc is. It's not just that mouth, but it covers a whole lot of that area. This shot was spectacular. Boba finally getting freed before he passed out. We know that Jawa's got his armor because Cobb Vanth will later on get the armor from the Jawas, then Mando will go on to return it to Boba. So a nice closing chapter for Boba Fett's armor, but of course the ones who stole the show, the ones who stole the episode, were the Tusken Raiders. They in fact captured Boba as a prisoner, and while we got some glimpses in Attack of the Clones and some other comics that how the Tusken Raiders actually work, even in The Mandalorian Season 2, we got a glimpse of that. Now we realize exactly how the hierarchy of the Tusken Raiders works and how they torture their prisoners. But the dreams must end, and Fennec Shand in fact tells Boba to wake up. It is at that moment that we get a parade of new characters offering their tribute to the new boss of Mos Espa, and that is Lord Fett, as they affectionately call him. Serving Boba is UK-2B, an AD series smelted droid that is presenting the guests. Fun fact, Doc Strassi was actually played by Robert Rodriguez, the director of the show. He was a Trandoshan leader who offered Boba a Wookiee pelt. The funniest interaction to come out of this episode, in fact, was the whole kerfuffle with the mayor. Boba was expecting the mayor, then we realize that the mayor has not made the trip down. It's actually his major domo, or his messenger basically, who vaguely threatens Boba if he doesn't pay tribute to the mayor. So it's the other way around. I'm going to cover this extensively in tomorrow's episode, the whole misunderstanding with the mayor and who he actually is. The two famous Gamorrean guards. Now here is a possible Easter egg of Luke Skywalker. Since these two Gamorrean guards were loyal to Jabba the Hutt, loyal to Bib Fortuna, and now loyal to Boba Fett, these two guards that guard the entrance are probably the same guards that got choked out by Luke Skywalker himself in Return of the Jedi. This is the shot that I'm talking about. Upon Luke's entrance, immediately two Gamorrean guards approach the Jedi, and he neutralizes them both in a swift move. The first locale that Boba visits is the Sanctuary, as it's notably called. It was previously owned by Jabba and Bib Fortuna. Now it belongs to Boba Fett. And we finally see Jennifer Beals' character as well, Garsa Whip, the Twi'lek who is in charge of the club. Again, another tidbit that basically stole the show was the reinterpretation of the Cantina song. Max Rebo is back. Who could have thought that Max Rebo would survive Darth Vader, Emperor Palpatine, everybody? Max Rebo is still alive and kicking it. Following Boba's visit and them paying tribute, a lot of coins, now Boba gets attacked by some bandits with weaponry and shields. We saw this interaction in the trailer, of course, and it ended up in Boba's favor. But what this fight actually showed is how loyal would the Gamorrean guards be to Boba. Boba and Fennec Shand were trying to fight these bandits as much as possible, but it wasn't until the Gamorrean guards showed up after mysteriously disappearing that the pendulum finally swung Boba's way and they got rid of the guard. Even ended up interrogating one of them. So we finally got to answer the question, are the Gamorrean guards really loyal to Boba? And in fact, they were. Not only did they save him, but they dragged him inside the Bacta pod for him to get healed up. This is when the visions start creeping back in. We see how Boba fared off with the Tusken Raiders. He was a prisoner for quite some time, and he was actually being hassled by one of the kids. Boba even goes on to call him a youngling, which of course immediately sent my mind towards Anakin Skywalker and his rageful self. I kept thinking that what Anakin did to the younglings, what Vader did to the younglings, killed them without hesitation. Imagine what he would do to a Tusken youngling. This is basically double jeopardy for Vader, a youngling and a Tusken. It is a Darth Vader dream scenario that never actually happened. But the sands and the dunes of Tatooine are full of surprises. As Boba and the Rhodium prisoner are digging for water, this is the moment when we discover a new monster, a new character per se. This monster affectionately is being called online as the Goro monster because it has 4 arms. In the end, we all knew how it was going to pan out. Boba was gonna come up in the end as a hero, but Goro actually got the Jabba treatment. He got choked out by chains. So now Leia and Boba has something in common. With the head of Goro being taken tribute to the Tusken Raiders, now Boba is in the good graces of the Tusken leader, who offers him water and presumably is going to ingratiate Boba Fett into their tribe. This is why in The Mandalorian Season 2 we see Boba in the beginning wearing Tusken Raider garb and even their weaponry. Not only that, but the post-credit scenes were actually awesome too. They continued the tradition of The Mandalorian with showing us concept art, which was pretty cool, I gotta say. In some instances, the concept art actually was much better than what we got in the final cut. I don't know, just something to think about. So this was a quick review of what happened in episode 1, but be sure to subscribe because we're going to cover extensively every single detail that you missed and every question answered from episode 1, starting with who is the mayor and why he doesn't fear Boba Fett. Thank you guys so much for watching this video, and if you enjoyed, leave a thumbs up down below, subscribe for dailies. Now you can have an awesome day, Star Wars fans. I'll see you in the next video, and may the Force be with you. Until then.